Hey everybody, welcome back to Pokemon Fire Red. Lance the Pants here, and today we're gonna go back through Pokemon Tower. We really didn't go over this place last time because there was nothing I could do, and I was like, I don't want to waste your time, because I don't know, I hate wasting people's time when it comes to Let's Play videos, I do it all the time. But Pokemon Tower is basically where you really get introduced to the Ghost type. Ghost type is actually one of my favorite types, because I like a lot of Pokemon, but we'll see a Ghost type in this battle, actually. Oh, no, I read her out. I read her out. I added her out, because she's more important. Do I have this person out? I probably do. No, I do not. Basically, the Ghost type is actually really effective against Psychic type? Yeah, okay, there we go. I couldn't remember for a second. Ghost type, of course, this is Ghastly. Ghastly is a Ghost and Poison type. I go and saying this here, there are no strictly Ghost type Pokemon in this game. They're all Ghost and Poison. Because the only Ghost type Pokemon in this game are the Ghastly line, which is Ghastly, Haunter, and Gengar. Ghastly is actually pretty... Okay, Ghastly is okay at first. When it evolves in a Haunter, though, it gets really good. And then when you get Gengar, oh my god, Gengar is one of my favorite Ghost types. Just how it's amazing, basically. I'm not using a Gengar, though. I was actually considering it for the longest time. Because the Pokemon that we're going to catch next, I was originally going to swap out for a Gengar. But, you know, because I can't do the whole trading thing on here, I decided, well, I'll just go for another Pokemon instead. But, Gengar, if you can get one on here, if you're playing, like, on a... I don't see since I don't know how to do the trading thing with an emulator. Basically, if you're playing with a cartridge or you know how to do that, I really suggest you get a Gengar, because, oh my god, it's amazing. It can learn Ghost-type moves, Poison-type moves, Electric-type moves. It can learn so many things, and it actually gets better the more the games go on. Like, I know in Gen 6, it gets a Mega Evolution, and it's just insane, guys. I do know my friend Sofa King, or whatever I'm gonna call him, he's a big fan of Gengar. I think he had a shiny Gengar. I'm probably wrong on that, though. I've never had a shiny Ghost type. I've had shiny anything. When it comes... I'll just mention that. Of course, shiny Pokemon are a once-in-a-million shot of actually getting a Pokemon with shiny. Basically, they're just a Pokemon with an alternate color. I think some of the stats are a little bit different, but that's about it. Shinies are really rare, though, and they really don't do much. Like, you're never required to actually get one. Shiny, they're bragging rights, basically. And, of course, I do have a few shinies. I do have a shiny, I think it's Pidgey? Yeah, I had a shiny Pidgey. No, not Pidgey. I had a shiny Hoot Hoot in, Pokemon, Silver. Yeah, Silver, okay. It's been so long. And if you go in here, you get a Purified Circle. I never caught a shiny anything in any of these games. I got a shiny, I got a shiny in Gen 4. I think it was a shiny Shinx, but I'm probably... No, it's shiny... What was it? Fuck. I caught a shiny something in Gen 4. I just can't think of what it was. It was... I know what the Pokemon's called. It's the pre-evolution of Medicham. Is it Meditite? I got a shiny of that. And, in Gen 5, I got a shiny, Drillbur. And, of course, I have all that shit in Excadrill, and it's badass. The color doesn't really suit Excadrill, but it's pretty cool. And in Gen 6, I have a shiny, the grass deer thing. I want to call it, is it Deerling? I don't know. It's the deer thing in Gen 6. Or Gen 5, technically, it's in Gen 6. I don't know. I'm proud of it, though. I want a shiny Hawlucha. The shiny Hawlucha was amazing, but... Hawlucha's amazing in general. I don't care what anybody says. A Pokemon that's basically a wrestler, a luchador, basically, is a fucking monster in my book. And you better believe when I get to Gen 6, I'm probably going to use that Pokemon. Well, actually, I won't, because I know I already know. Okay, I already know what the Pokemon I'm going to use for my fighting type thing it's going to be, so... It's sad that I already have my Gen 6 team planned out, and I won't be getting into that for a long time. Like, I'm talking... Ooh... It's gonna be late. I won't be dead, but it'll be a long time until I get to Generation 6. Like, it's weird that I already have my Gen 6 and, like, Gen 5 teams planned out, but I have no idea what I'm gonna do for my teams in 3 or 4. 2, I got, like, half of it planned out, but, you know. Psychic types, I'll get into this now, but the reason why a lot of people are not fans of Psychic types in Generation 1, at least in the original games, is because Psychic types were considered pretty much OP. The reason for this is because nothing could stop Psychic types except for Ghost types, because they had that poison. Psychic types could technically beat them really easy, and you're gonna see me exploit that in this game later on. Oh, I do it right here too, but basically, in the Generation 1, it's like, everybody, you hated fighting a Psychic type. It was the worst thing ever, because I remember my cousin, he would have like 3 fucking Psychic types on his team, because I could never beat, well, I mean, I'd beat him, but it was hard. It's called, you had every starter, and you just used Blastoise to spam the Hydro Pump. Here is Ghost. This is not a Pokemon. Ghost, you've got its identity, and it's Marowak. You gotta say it like that. Marowak is basically the mother of, or it's the evolution, technically, of Cubone. The story behind this is actually a little sad. Marowak, this Marowak here is basically dead. Team Rocket basically killed it, and the story about Cubone is the skull on it is actually the skull of its mother. Yeah, this is a children's game, ladies and gentlemen, but, you know, it's Pokemon for you. It's full of dark stuff. But you cannot capture this Marowak no matter what you try, because believe me, I've tried it thousands of times. And I do like Marowak. Marowak is a ground-type Pokemon. Marowak can learn some pretty decent moves. It's not that bad. I honestly like Marowak. I think it says it's a ground-type. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it says I don't know. But, Marowak's not bad. If you can find one later on in the game, it's worth a shot to use, so feel free. I mean, I'm not saying you cannot use any of these Pokemon. I don't recommend them. But we calm the spirit of the mother, so we basically just save the world, but, you know, I'm trying to get at. We basically, helped Pokemon go into the light, I guess, I don't know. It is sad, though, that Cubone's mother dies. The question is, though, we see a lot of Cubone, and they always have a skull on their head. So that makes no sense. But basically, we're just gonna fight Rocket Grunts. Yay! Rocket Grunts! We have Hypnosis, so we can take them all out, no problem. Hypnosis is just like, confusion, bitch! Mind Crush! But, you know, it's just Zubats, and we fought Zubats before. We're gonna fight them again, I'm sure. No, I know this is it's kind of on topic, it's kind of not. What do you guys think of, like, ghosts, like, in general? Like, do you believe in ghosts? Do you believe in the supernatural in general? This is Golbat. That was a random question. But that's the question of the day. Do you believe in ghosts? Golbat is the evolution of Zubat. You can pretty much take this thing out, no problem. It's basically still a flying poison type. Yeah, we're gonna see a lot of Golbats, basically. And it's got a big mouth, because I have reasons, I guess. It evolves in a Crobat in Gen 2. It can, no, I don't think it can in this game, because they don't have the happiness feature. So I think you have to trade it from Gen 3. Like, you know, Ruby, Sapphire, but, basically, that's that. But, I won't rely on Psychic, thank God. Basically, with this, we're gonna rape everything, because Psychic, in Gen 1, the original games, it was basically, if you had this, you're gonna win, basically, no matter what you had another Psychic, or unless your opponent had a Psychic type move on their team, or Psychic, Pokemon on their team. But Psychic's really good, and we're gonna be using that a lot for a Psychic type. Basically, we're gonna do Psychic type move for the rest of the game, so. Our team is starting to fill out a little bit, because basically, I did my team a little bit different from what I did my, well, the original recording, which is telling me my practice run now. But, basically, I use the same team for that as I'm going to in this. In that, my team was unstoppable, so in this game, I kind of, if you notice, my Venusaur has still has Tackle on it. And I was like, you know what, I'm going to leave Tackle for as long as possible, until I can find a move that's, like, absolutely wrecks everything. And so you know what I'm talking about, but Tackle is going to stay for a long time, because I wanted to see how much it would affect my team, or my Venusaur at least. I tried to make my team as less OP as earlier, because when I did my test run, I just breezed through everything, no problem. And this, I actually, you know, wanted to have a bit of a challenge, make it a little more fun, because basically I'm playing the same game twice in a row, and I'm like, it eventually gets boring, so I'm like, you know, I'll do something a little different. So I try to make it a little bit harder on myself in this, well, this, version that I recorded, but, you know. Funny thing is, if you read that, it's basically, that's Game Freak. It's like, Pokemon's nothing good for money. that's Game Freak. I've actually never played any of the other, any of the other like Game Freak games. Like I never did play Pulseman. I've heard that's really fun though. I never played, I think it's Drill Dozer. That's something I'm actually really interested in, because I've heard that's fun, but I may get to that one day if I like it. I mean, I could just always download an emulator and play it, but maybe if I like it in LP one day. But, there's that. I'm trying to think what else. I know they made, like, a rhythm platformer type of game for the 3DS recently. I didn't play it. I have heard it's okay. I've actually heard it's pretty decent. If you guys have played it, feel free to tell me, because, I mean, I'm always up for trying new things. Like, I do want to try Pulseman one day, because I've heard that's really good, and I do want to try Drill Dozer, so I wouldn't mind trying that out, even though I'm kind of terrible at rhythm. It's like, I can't even play Elite Beat Agents, honestly. I'm that bad at it. Like, I know this, does Guitar Hero even count as a rhythm game, technically? Because if it's so, that's like the only rhythm type of game I've played. Besides, like, the rhythm-based like, minigames in Mario Party. I'm sure there's been some other rhythm games I've played. Like, okay, I think it's technically a rhythm game, like in Kirby Triple Deluxe, kinda. I've played that, but you know. Old man, I have come to rescue you. I can't come steer me your keyboard the other way. You did a terrible job at it. And he gives us a Poke Flute. Basically, we need this to wake up a sleeping Pokemon so we can get to our next gym. So we're actually going to be doing that pretty, well, actually in this episode, so. I believe we're going to have music time here in a little bit, but I'm probably wrong on that. I'm probably super wrong, but you know, we'll find out. This one gives you a TM. I believe it's Return. Basically, returns normal type move. You can give it to like much your Pokemon. Basically, the more friendly your Pokemon is with you, the stronger that move gets. I actually use that in my practice run, so if you have a really friendly Pokemon, say like your Venusaur, if you have that, or a Blastoise, whatever, I recommend giving it to you because it would help out a lot. I believe we're about to have music time. If I'm wrong, I'm going to sound like a complete douchebag and an idiot, but I believe we're about to have music time, so I'm going to shut up and let you guys listen to the music. Watch me be wrong, but whatever. Here you go. Enjoy the music. That song, as you saw earlier, was Wave Oceanly Inlet from Sonic 06. That game sucks, but it has great music. I'm not even gonna get into the thing I'm just planning to do, because I know people were expecting it. But we played the Poke Flute, and Snorlax woke up and attacked in a grumpy rage. Yay! This been went on for a long time, so I'm just gonna jump to the funny stuff. Or I'm just gonna jump, whatever. Basically, Snorlax. I don't know why that part was there. I actually meant to edit that out, but I probably didn't, because I'm a fucking idiot. Whatever. Failure while it's smart. Snorlax is a normal type Pokemon. Snorlax is a monster, a complete and utter monster. Basically, Snorlax has a ton of defense, a ton of HP, and a ton of too tall. A ton of attack power. Basically, Snorlax, what he pretty much does here is he'll use Sleep while he has a Chesto Berry to wake him up, or hurry up technically. Snorlax is actually really, really, really good. I mentioned earlier I've used Snorlax before, and I usually use it XML for my main online team, and my friends hate fighting me with Snorlax because of how OP it is. Basically, use Snorlax, give it maybe a Rock Slide, Strength, or Return, whatever, it doesn't really matter. Basically, it can take a lot of hits. You give it a Citrus Berry, by the way, and it's basically a wrecking machine, in all honesty. Or you give it Rest into that that Chester Berry, and dude, you have one of the most kick-ass Pokemon in the game. Snorlax, since it's normal type, it can actually take a lot of stuff except for fighting, and even then, since it has pretty good defense, it can actually take a lot of fighting type moves, which is pretty good. And yes, we are going to capture Snorlax, which is pretty cool, because Snorlax will actually be a member of our team. Because Snorlax is awesome. Because, I mean, how can you not like big old Snorlax? Little story, me and my cousin it was around Pokemon Stadium around the N64. I would hang out with him, and his dad's name was Dennis. Dennis was not a skinny person, to say the least. And he slept a lot, so he snored. So every time we'd play that, he would fall asleep. So we would calm Snorlax, and then I killed it. So basically what I do is I'm going to walk in this place. Walk back, and I caught another Snorlax. But, you should see here, why did I even mention his name was going to be Dennis? Snorlax, though, he's pretty cool, but he sleeps a lot. But basically, my uncle Dennis sleeps a lot, so I was just calling him Snorlax, and I still call him that until now. He's like, I can't believe you called me that. And plus, Dennis is famous for the song from Pokemon Gen 5 for the Geddis theme, and they try to say Geddis, but all you hear is Dennis, Dennis. But yeah, that was an episode.